Now, for more on the potential effect of the market turmoil on some of the planned offerings, we're joined by an analyst who already follows social game maker Zynga. Nitsan Hargil, Director of Research at GreenCrest Capital, joins us from New York. So, Nitsan, first of all, what information do you have about the timeline for Zynga's IPO and if any of this market volatility that we're seeing is impacting them at all?
Well, we know that Zynga filed for their IPO in July. And under a normal time frame, we would expect them to come out into the market sometime in late September or early October. As it stands, with the SEC having looked very carefully at Groupon's S1 filing and having a lot of questions there, that also raised some questions around the Zynga S1 filing. The questions there are much simpler to take care of, and I don't think the look into the company will be as major, but we could expect it to come to the market maybe a month later in November, taking into account market conditions.
So you're expecting up to a month's delay here with Zynga's actual listing coming out of the gate?
Exactly. About a month is what we would anticipate. And really, you're looking at something that has to do with market conditions much more than anything with the company itself.
What concerns in particular may the SEC have with Zynga's initial filing? We've been covering this story about CEO Mark Pincus getting certainly unprecedented power with kind of a rearrangement of the shares. Is that something that the SEC is going to be scrutinizing?
Absolutely. Everything is being looked at. In Zynga's case, everything that has been looked at has been quite trivial. In this matter, of the 70 times voting power than normal shareholders that Mr. Pincus has kept for himself. That is not something necessarily that the SEC is looking into, but it's definitely something investors are looking into. A situation here that no matter what happens, one person alone, Mr. Mark Pincus, the CEO of Zynga, will be able to make decisions for the company forever.
As an analyst, Nitsan, does that concern you in any way, a CEO having that kind of unprecedented power?
Well, it's a concern. It's something that it does take away any shareholding voting rights, for example. No shareholders would ever be able to vote anything into action unless Mr. Pincus chooses for it to be voted. Obviously, the company can never be sold unless Mr. Pincus chooses for that to happen, and so on and so forth. So definitely it is some concern, but he is the founder, built the company, and that's what he decided to do.
If Zynga waits until November to officially go public, is that, you know, a bad time considering it's going into the holidays? Are there any kind of wider time considerations that they would have with that kind of a date?
I think we all know that, you know, as you get later into November, you're dealing with the Thanksgiving holiday, and then 2 weeks after that, you have the Christmas holidays beginning. So definitely, if you're going to come out in November, you'd like to come out in the early part. But if you don't succeed, you're going to do that in very early December.
Are you expecting Groupon to face similar delays? We've been covering the scrutiny that the SEC has been giving their kind of non-traditional metrics. Do you see Groupon being delayed as well?
I do see Groupon being delayed. The issues at Groupon have proven to be a bit more sticky than the ones at Zynga. Groupon had some serious issues with their accounting method and the way they were trying to convince people to look at their revenues, and they've had to take away their introduction of a specific metric, which has caused a larger delay. I think it will be easier for Zynga to get to market than Groupon, but both of them are hoping to make it this year.
When do you think Groupon will get out of the gate? What's your time frame?
Well, Groupon did file their S1 a few weeks before Zynga, so I would think that with the delays, they're probably at about the same time frame as Zynga. Now, you've said,
Nitsan, that Zynga holds a trump card here, that the market needs the IPO more than Zynga needs to IPO itself. What do you mean by that?
Well, you're talking here about one of the most successful companies in history. They are in their 4th year of operation currently. They are extremely profitable. They are nearing $100 million in free cash flow per month. These are astounding amounts of money. Definitely no company such as Facebook or Yahoo or Google has ever managed to reach such sums so early in their existence. It's not to say that this is as big as Facebook or these other companies, but definitely you're talking about a company that is immensely profitable, very attractive to the marketplace, and as you have the IPO window being more shut than it was just a few weeks ago, I think the market and the bankers definitely want to make sure that they're able to bring this to play.
It certainly is a widely anticipated IPO. Nitsan Hargil of GreenCrest Capital, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you,
on
Emily.
this.